What's up, No Rev?
What's going on, CJ?
Welcome back. We're the Microphone Joes. Obviously, you know our names already. And this week, we're going to talk about Black Panther.
Very, very good movie. We'll talk about it a little bit more later on in the podcast.
So, Black Panther, and also we're going to talk a little bit about Star Wars Rebels, which comes back on the 19th, which is Monday for us.
Oh, yeah.
Recording now. So, before we get into that, let's start with the news. So the very first topic I have here is a big one for us. I think of everything we've talked about, every single week I feel like Battlefront 2 has come up.
It's found its way to sneak in there quite a bit, hasn't it?
And this one is the best out of all of them. There's a rumor that Disney, who is unhappy with EA at the moment, might pull the plug on their license for Star Wars games and is shopping the license to Activision and Ubisoft. So I guess there's a clause in the contract that they have, and this is all a rumor, by the way, but there's a clause that if they believe that EA is not doing a good enough job, they can pull the licensing right and give it to someone else. So, I mean, it's been reported before that they're not happy with what happened with Battlefront 2, the lack of games. They've shut down the visceral single-player game that was in development because it wasn't a live service, air quotes.
Right.
Which basically means they couldn't put microtransactions in it.
Which, yeah, I mean, EA's caught so much flack. They've obviously been doing this with all of their games for years.
Oh, yeah.
But the fact that they tried to fuck with Star Wars, they're getting a lot of backlash from it. I mean, they honestly should get Star Wars pulled from them.
Obviously, you go up against a brand like Star Wars, you're going to get that backlash, but also it's the owners of the brand.
Disney.
And EA is going against, I don't have any stats in front of me, but I would imagine Disney is one of the 5 biggest companies in the entire world at this point. So you're playing with fire that you can't even imagine, EA.
Yeah, they have, unlimited pockets.
Yeah, and power.
Yeah.
Ironically enough. What I don't like about this, though, is that they're shopping it to Ubisoft and Activision, because Activision are the people that make Call of Duty, and Ubisoft makes Assassin's Creed, those kind of games, and they both also are notorious for, especially Activision, loot boxes.
Yeah.
So it's probably not going to get any better.
But they don't necessarily rub it in our face like EA does.
Well, I just started playing the new Call of Duty, and I was telling you, I haven't touched it to this point, so it's several months old. I opened 3 loot boxes and got one of the best guns in the best gun you possibly could get in the assault rifle class at rank 3. So if I had paid for those, I could have literally had the best gun in that class in 3 purchases.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's. I personally, and we'll get to this company later, I kind of wish Projekt Red would get the license. Are you familiar with Projekt Red?
No, what games do they do?
The Witcher 3.
Oh, yeah, they do great work.
Yeah, and there's no microtransactions, and we're going to loop back around to that eventually in our news section. But that's about it for that. Hopefully Disney will pull the plug, or at the very least, maybe this will scare EA.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, look at all the money there. Even though Battlefront 2 did not do well because of the controversy, it didn't do as well as projected, it still sold 9 million units.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I still bought the game regardless.
I did too, and that's the thing.
It's Star Wars.
You can sell a metric shit ton of these games if you just make a good game.
Yeah.
People are going to buy it for years if you just make a good game.
Yeah.
You don't need the live services. Star Wars alone will sell copies.
Just on the name of the Star Wars brand alone.
Yeah. So
actually, Loot Crates is a good way to segue into this next one. You want to take this?
Yep. So new laws are coming in around the world about loot boxes. First up is Germany, who is investigating a possible ban. So there's an article here from PC Gamer, and in the article they talk about how Germany is taking a look into these loot boxes. Germany is notoriously very difficult for games to begin with.
Yeah.
They have a lot of censorship. For example, anything World War II, you are not allowed to put Hitler, you're not allowed to put swastikas, any of that. And there's other, you have to tone down the violence a little bit with Germany. It's very difficult. So it's already a hard place that you basically get to build 2 sets of the game, one for everywhere else and Australia is really hard too. But so yeah, they're looking at banning this. So a closer look at the discussion is taking place if there are any specific risks and where to locate them legally. As part of this analysis, the KJM, governmental institution responsible for youth protection regarding online content services, is taking a closer look at permitted and prohibited advertising in shop offerings. However, these rules apply to online purchases in general, thus also to loot boxes. So basically, and this comes from, I'm trying to find a representative from Germany. It doesn't name the representative. But basically they want to put loot boxes, or they're looking into putting loot boxes into the same category as like your online poker games and stuff
like gambling.
That. Yeah. And so then it wouldn't be able to be sold to anybody under the legal age of gambling in Germany, which I don't think it says. It does not. I assume it would be 18 to 21, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So, and they are joining now Belgium, Australia, the U.S., different parts of the U.S. that are looking into this. And one of those parts of the U.S. is Hawaii. And we talked about before the Hawaiian representative, Chris Lee, who kind of kicked all this off with his press conference. So they've proposed 2 bills that they might take effect by next year. So the first one is games with loot boxes will be required to disclose that up front that they have loot boxes.
Right.
And will also have to publish the exact drop rates of items in loot boxes, similar rules that China has. So basically that bill would say, all right, you have to up front tell people there are loot boxes in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go, so I'm going to use Halo as an example.
Okay.
Because you can look at every one of the unlockables in the screen before you unlock it.
Yeah.
So if Halo were one of the games coming out after this becomes law, if it did, you would have to, on each of those, put like a little tag that says the drop rate for this is 0.5%.
Oh, okay.
So that really doesn't help that much because that might stop you or I. I mean, we don't buy them anyways, but we're not gambling addicts. But a gambling addict goes into a casino and knows they have very little chance, but they still do it. So I'm not crazy about that bill. That's a softball bill. But the second one, this is the one I'm interested in. The second bill would flat out bar the sale of loot box games to anyone under 21 years old. A loot box game is anything that offers a randomized in-game reward for real-life money. So that's big because if restricting the sales of loot box games to anyone under 21 would be a huge earth-shaking deal, according to the article.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially for a lot of these like online shooters and stuff like that, because majority of the people that buy those games are kids under 21.
Yep.
You know, they don't have anything else to do, so they're going to go home and play Call of Duty and kill all their buddies online.
Yeah, so the law would essentially make all games adult-only, AO.
Yep.
And then some. The current ESRB rating that forbids sales of games to those under 18, usually due to graphic violence or nudity, and nearly all retailers refuse to stock them. But in this case, it's about gambling, and in theory, you could have an entire slate of games that everyone under 21 can't buy. Because it's gambling, it goes up 3 more years.
Right.
So, I mean, as it says in there, they won't stock them. The retailers won't stock them because they won't move.
Yeah, exactly.
You're only going to be able to sell to adults. You're not going to have the child market, which, again, we're adults, we play video games, so we always think of it in the way we look at it, but kids can go into a Call of Duty lobby right now, and it's a bunch of 12-year-olds.
Yeah, exactly.
So, this is big, and if Hawaii does it, you damn well know that other states are going to follow right behind. I mean, there's other states already looking at, I think Washington was one of them, Colorado. There's a few other states that are already kind of following the lead, so when something like this happens, it's the same,
It's a domino effect.
Yeah, it's a domino effect. It'll take place everywhere else. So.
And, honestly, I'm kind of glad that this is happening, because our games were perfectly fine before loot boxes and loot crates and everything else. Get rid of them. There's no need for them. No. Just make a good fucking game in the first place, and you won't have to deal with this horse shit.
Yeah, there's absolutely no reason for loot boxes other than they want to make more fucking money. But I mean, come on, $60 a pop for a game.
Yeah, they're already making their money.
They're expensive. So the last little bit in regards to this topic, and then we'll move on, is that CD Projekt Red, we talked about a little while ago.
Yep.
There was an interview with their CEO. Yep. CD Projekt Red CEO Adam Kaczynski. I think that's how it's pronounced.
Yeah.
And they had an interview about their new game, which is called Cyberpunk 2077. I don't really know much about that, but I've seen a few pictures. It looks kind of neat.
Sounds interesting.
And they asked him about loot boxes. And this is a direct quote from Kaczynski. They asked about the conversation. Conversation sounds way too nice to describe what was happening last year. I would rather call it community backlash. And this time around, it wasn't just the hardcore community. There were lots of really pissed off gamers out there, and they decided to speak up. Where we stand, CD Projekt Red, is quite simple, and you could see it with all of our past releases, most recently The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, and Gwent. If you buy a full-priced game, you should get a big, polished piece of content which gives you many, many hours of fun gameplay.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank God somebody actually cares about making a good game and not stuffing it full of crap. He also goes on to say, the definition of many may vary on a title-by-title basis, but in our case, it was always 50 to 60 plus hours of the main storyline with up to a couple hundred hours of side activities. If you really wanted to max out the title. To me, this is a fair deal. You get what you paid for, plus we are always trying our best to over-deliver. Here's the key here. Here's what we have been saying for weeks. There is no better PR than a happy gamer recommending your title to their friends.
Exactly.
Yes.
Word of mouth is one of the most powerful and underutilized marketing methods.
Yeah. You are going to make your money if you make the people happy. I mean, I'll give you an example. Halo. The first Halo came out. It was the launch title with the Xbox. A couple people bought it, and their friends checked it out. People went out and bought Xboxes just to play Halo.
Same thing with Gears.
Yeah, there was no microtransaction. Hell, there was no online multiplayer back then. It was just a fun game. Yeah. I bought an Xbox to play Halo.
Exactly.
That's the entire reason I got one.
And we still play Halo to this day.
Yes. So, I mean, we're not talking about console sales, but if what I'm trying to say is if you can make a game so good that it will get people to buy a console, then you can make a game that's so good that it gets other people to buy just the game for the console they already own.
Exactly.
It's not that hard. Put a little more time and effort into a good story, good gameplay, fixing the fucking bugs before they come out, because like I said, I started playing Call of Duty last night. It's 3 months old at this point, and I still had connection issues.
Yeah.
How in the world does a game that's survived for years on its multiplayer alone have bad servers?
Who knows?
Don't they know how to make a server?
I guess not.
But they know how to make fucking loot boxes.
Oh, bet your ass they do.
So that's where we're standing on the loot boxes. Let's see, what's our next topic here? Oh, this is interesting. Google is looking to get into the gaming market.
Really?
They are looking to stream games on the Chromecast and possibly their own consoles. This is actually kind of like a secret project they've been working on behind the scenes for 2 years now. So they want to stream game. It's called Projekt Yeti, and they want it to rival the PlayStation Now. Is that what PlayStation's is called?
Yeah, PlayStation Now.
And Xbox Game Pass. So as of right now, it will, if it were to release, and they were so confident, and they almost released it at Christmas of last year. I guess there's a few more things they want to work out. It would stream directly to your Chromecast devices, and they have to create like a controller or something. But eventually they're looking into creating their own Google game console. I don't think, at least now, they're not talking about having exclusives or anything like that. They are basically talking about porting third-party games, like your Call of Duties and your Star Wars Battlefront 2s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's interesting, Google getting into the gaming market. I mean, they already are with their Android games.
Yeah, but, I mean, I'm kind of surprised that they haven't tried to get into the console gaming market yet, though.
I mean, they have the money to throw around to do it.
Oh, yeah, they easily do. It's Google.
Yeah, they wouldn't. It's almost like, Microsoft was the same thing back in the day. Google was like present-day Microsoft when Microsoft jumped into the console market. And to me, the more consoles there are, the more competition there is, and the better games will get out of it.
Oh, yeah.
So, at least first-party games.
Yeah.
So, go for it, Google. Go ahead. Give us a gaming console. I'd be totally fine with that.
Yeah, I'd try it out. I'd be willing to definitely try that out.
Well, imagine the connectivity you could have, because we use Google Drive for our podcast. I use Google Play Music. And especially Google Play Music. I remember on the old Xbox, you could download music. And you can, like, Pandora on the new Xbox. But I've always wanted I got like 1 billion songs on Play Music. So it'd be cool. I'm sure it would be integrated in there.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be great, And also, one of the interesting things in the article was that unlike Xbox, where you download the game, and unlike PlayStation, where you stream it from their server, these games would be computed and streamed from the cloud. So you do need an internet connection, but it won't have to be as powerful because it's centralized on the cloud and not in a server. I don't know how that works. I'm not a tech whiz, but that's one of the quote-unquote benefits of the program over the others. So that does it for our legit news, and we're going to... So we talked about a little bit last week how you wanted to keep up a theme of crazy stuff going on in the world. So we decided to spin it into its own little topic, and we are going to start calling this Week in Our Wacky World, hosted by No Rev. So please take it away.
So for our first ever news topic in This Week in Our Wacky World, I decided to start off with a pretty... we're starting out swinging here.
Yeah, all right.
Suspected serial street pooper arrested after motion-activated camera catches her. Now, basically, yes, you heard that right. This woman is a serial street pooper. She's been driving into this cul-de-sac they've caught this chick 3 times doing this, but they didn't install the camera until the last one, the 3rd time. So basically, she's driving into this cul-de-sac, dropping trousers, and just shitting on the sidewalk, wiping her ass, and then leaving. You know what her excuse is? She's lactose intolerant.
So she has to crap?
On the street? What? There's plenty of lactose intolerant people that use a bathroom. Yes. Just because you're allergic to dairy does not give you the excuse to just take a dump in the street.
This woman looks like a piece of shit. I'm just looking at her picture. She just looks like, yeah.
And it says here that she's 43 years old. How did she make it to this point?
This sounds like something a teenager would do.
Not even.
Like a 12-year-old. Why?
I don't know, but yeah, so she ended up getting arrested, and she's being charged with misdemeanor breach of peace and creating hazardous conditions.
Well, yeah. Human feces is, like, one of the most toxic things out there.
Yeah, especially human.
Yeah.
So...
a serial pooper.
Serial street pooper. Oh, great. Man.
But your next one's even better.
Okay, so you will take odd amusement out of this one. Somebody is... Now, technically, they're not bashing her, but just the fact that she makes pieces of shit music, and by which we're talking about Taylor Swift. I'm not a big fan of Taylor Swift. I fucking hate Taylor Swift, okay?
Me too.
And I know that you do, and it's about damn time that somebody calls her out on bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, because every single one of her fucking songs is the same exact thing. It's either super happy or, oh, my boyfriend broke up with me. How many men are still falling for this shit?
I'm pretty sure she dates guys just to write songs.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But anyways, so she's going to court to try to get the Copyright Act enabled on her songs.
So somebody else went after her. Who is it here? Her song, I guess, is a ripoff of a song called Player's Gonna Play by Sean Hall and Nathan Butler.
I've never heard of them.
For the girl group 3LW, which is like a 90s group. I have no idea. But I guess they're suing her. She's claiming, I don't know. You keep going. It's a mess.
So she's trying to get copyright for her song "Shake It Off," which it says because player's gonna play, blah blah blah. Haters gonna hate. Anyways, so basically, this judge just starts demolishing this whole court suit because basically he says that this song in particular, Taylor Swift's song, is bullshit. The one that she's copying from 3LW is also bullshit. Nobody is getting this. Go fuck yourselves. He didn't literally say that, but that was the paraphrasing sum up. Because he He does one of those judge, those really educated ripping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He just lays into these fucking people.
Can I read the one quote?
Go for it.
He said, he calls it banal, not creative and banal. I'm not really sure.
Banal.
Banal? What does banal mean?
Like mundane.
Oh, okay. He wrote the lyrics themselves, quote, lack the modicum of originality and creativity required for copyright protection. Too brief, unoriginal, and uncreative to warrant protection under the Copyright Act. Do you know what that means? I just realized something.
What?
We literally could stop talking now and just fill our song with Taylor Swift for the rest of it, and they can't do shit about it. We'd probably get the most views we've ever had if we did that.
I would not lower
I think
myself.
I might edit part of her song in this video, just as a big F you. I'm gonna edit it in with a middle finger to Taylor Swift.
Oh no!
And there's nothing she can do.
No, there's not.
This is great. This is a glorious day.
Oh, go fuck yourself, Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
I think that's about
That
it
does
for
it
our
for the news.
wacky world, or our this week in our wacky world.
That one was not just wacky, but it's uplifting.
Yeah.
It's motivating to
Yeah,
me.
that somebody else is calling out or hates Taylor Swift just as much as we do.
But it's very, very. What's the word I'm looking for? Suave about it, I
Yeah.
guess, because he puts it into fancy terms.
Educated.
Yeah. All right, so our main topic for this week, Black Panther.
Yes.
We saw this opening night. We get preview screenings in our area, so a little earlier than most people.
Yeah.
So we went to the very first showing in our area.
Suck it.
The theater was packed.
It was packed full. And I had a big lady sitting next to me who smelled terrible.
Yeah, she was fairly large. And we had a woman sitting in front of us that was texting the whole time.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
We'll save that because
Yeah,
I actually have a
right.
pretty big bitch about movie theaters nowadays. But anyways, let's
talk about it.
Yeah.
So Black Panther. I personally only know anything about Black Panther from Civil War. I've never read the comic.
I've read a little bit of Black Panther, but I don't know much about him. From what I have read, the movie stuck to the mythos pretty well. They stuck to a lot of cool stuff, and obviously they changed a couple of things here and there.
They always do.
Yeah, but I mean, I was okay with it. I really ended up liking this movie in the whole scheme of things.
Should we talk about what we found negative or positive first?
Let's go positive.
Let's go positive.
Because I'm glass half full.
Well, I have more positive things for me, anyway. So the first one I'll start with. My favorite character, other than the character that Andy Serkis played, was actually T'Challa's little sister.
Oh,
the
yeah.
actress's name is Letiti Wright, and she plays Shuri.
Shuri.
She is... Every scene that she was in was my favorite non-action scene.
Yeah.
She's hilarious, and she's smart.
Quirky.
Yeah, and her banter with T'Challa. What's the actor's name? I can't remember his name for some reason.
It's escaping me as well.
All right, well, we'll keep talking. I'll find it. But yeah,
I really liked her as well because she just added this whole pizzazz, and she definitely played the part well. And I've never seen her in anything else, so if this was her first performance, I was thoroughly impressed.
She blew me away.
And I actually remember in the comics, something happened to T'Challa, and he couldn't fulfill his Black Panther duty. She actually filled in as a Black Panther in the comics before.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Which is cool, and they kind of set that up a little bit too.
His name is Chadwick Boseman.
Yes, that was it.
You know what I liked about her? So this is going to be one of my negatives later. We'll get to it, but I like that she was kind of against all the tradition that held this entire nation down.
Yes.
She was very forward-thinking and very scientific, and I like that a lot about her.
Yeah.
She was kind of, and forgive me, I cannot remember the name of the character, but this movie felt very James Bond to me at times.
Okay.
With fancy gadgets and spy. They
It
had
did.
that whole scene where they were trying to get the vibranium from
Claw,
yeah. I can't remember his name. Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
Snoke. And they had this gear, and it was just really cool. But she was like the guy in James Bond who always gave James Bond his stuff. I can't remember what that person's name is. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah,
the person
I
who
do.
outfits him, or
I always call him Gadget.
Or Fox from Batman.
Yeah.
Because this did kind of feel like a Batman movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot like a Batman movie. What do you got? You got anything?
I really liked the action sequences. At first, they kind of jumped around a little bit.
Yeah,
which we'll get into that for the negatives. But once it mellowed out a little bit, it definitely lived up to the hype. The CGI was cool as hell. The suit looked great, and it was really fucking cool as well.
Yeah, the second one.
Yeah.
The model for they're gonna Iron Man it. Every movie's gonna be a model, but
they have to at this point. I mean, come on.
So.
But yeah, the suits were really cool too. I enjoyed pretty much all of this about the suit. Like, he's pretty much invincible in that fucking thing.
Whatever that weapon that Claw had, that did damage.
Yeah.
And it seemed like
well, that was powered by vibranium as well.
Yeah, but Killmonger shoots him with a grenade, and the force of that knocked him back. So you really can't.
Yeah, but his suit disperses the impact that he got.
But I mean, he can be knocked down and kept down a little bit. That was cool too. That it held kinetic energy and you could like disperse it. Yeah, that was neat because it led to a couple interesting scenes later on.
Yeah, it did too. But let's see. I really liked Claw.
Yeah, Claw was amazing.
Claw was a really fucking good bad guy, although it pisses me off.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers, because if you haven't realized already.
We don't really, we suck at this, so.
Yeah, we're probably supposed to announce that first, aren't we?
Probably, but fuck you guys. You should have known by now.
Yeah, you're clicking on a thing that's titled Black Panther.
Yeah.
What else do you think? Anyways, so Claw. I really enjoyed him as a bad guy. He was great. He was insane. He was funny. He just really had a good time playing it looked like. And, that amount of fun projected as a bad guy.
Yeah.
But then they go and fucking kill him off.
Yeah, because they had to make Killmonger the main villain.
Why?
So this is... Alright, I guess we're going to get into negatives real quick here.
Fuck it, why are we sticking to structure all of a sudden?
Marvel has an obvious villain problem.
Yes, they do.
Honestly, the only ones so far that I've liked are Loki,
who's an anti-hero pretty much now.
Yeah, and the Vulture. I can't think of his name. Vulture was really good, but Killmonger and they've run into this problem where it seems like every villain
is
in
the
movies,
mirror opposite of
him?
it's
just the evil version. Like the guy from Iron Man's the evil version of Iron Man.
Ant-Man.
Yeah, Ant-Man. He's the evil version of Ant-Man. And now this is literally a Black Panther, an evil version of Black Panther wearing a yellow outlined suit instead of the purple one.
Yeah.
So I have a fix for this, though. It came to me randomly last night. I have a possible way to make the movie's villain better. Instead of killing off Claw, he should have used Claw alive to get into Wakanda. And then what you could have done was have Claw break out and start wreaking havoc, and then Killmonger has to help.
Stop Claw?
So you could make Claw the big villain, and Killmonger can kind of become a hero. And then at the end, maybe you have Killmonger trying, after they take him down, and there's a fight or something. But I think Claw should have been the main villain.
They definitely should have stuck to Claw as the main villain, because he was a way better bad guy, and Killmonger wasn't impressed.
Yeah,
and Michael, what was his name?
Michael B. Jordan. Yeah.
He's normally not bad in some of the stuff that he does. It's just...
he overcompensates.
Yeah, he was trying to overcompensate. Like, he was trying too hard to be a bad guy.
His opening scene, where he's in that museum, and he's not...
He was very low-key menacing.
Yeah. And then when he got into Wakanda, he just, like, puffed his chest. Yeah, and he got so over the top.
Yeah.
I liked it better when because he came across as like a thinking villain, and then he got in there and he was just a brute. You know?
Pretty much.
He was basically Black Hitler when he got there. He seriously giving speeches and we're gonna destroy the world, and he was Black Hitler. So also that leads me into he fights T'Challa and takes the crown, which is I couldn't. This is another problem I had with the movie, is they're so wrapped up in their tradition that they let this obvious maniac take the throne.
Yeah.
I thought a better way to handle it would have been for some of Wakanda to go with him, and some of them not, and to have like a constant Wakandan civil war through the second half of the movie.
That would have been a little bit, or quite a bit more interesting.
I mean, they kind of did it at the end, but the battle was really, there was no stakes.
No.
Nobody was killing each other.
No.
And it was kind of dumb because he basically had the entire army on his side, and T'Challa only had, up until the very end, his elite guard. I know they're elite, but there's like 8 of them. They're fighting an entire army with rhinos.
Yeah, those rhinos, by the way, charging through crowds of people, somebody should have fucking died.
Somebody should have died. Nobody died.
Nobody's
dying.
Not a single fucking person died.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, a couple people died in the movie in total, but that was
only like South Korea.
Yeah. That was when it was on purpose.
Nobody from Wakanda died.
No.
So yeah, I think if they had done like a civil war, I don't mean Marvel Civil War, I mean like an actual civil war between the rightful ruler and the one who won it through tradition,
exactly.
I think that would have been interesting, and then come to a climax at the end. Pacing, yeah. The first half of this movie flew.
It did.
And then when Killmonger showed up in Wakanda, it just
dragged
to a halt. We got to, I think we only had like half an hour left, and you or I can't remember, one of us leaned over and was like, is this almost over?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean this is a bad movie. It's
No.
a good movie, but it slows way the fuck down.
It's really quick in all of the good parts, and then the slower parts, it drags and drags.
It feels like it goes on forever in those slow parts.
Yeah. Like every second feels like 10.
Yeah.
I don't even know how long this movie was, to be honest with you.
The preview started at 7:20, and we didn't leave till 10 o'clock, so it must be at least 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Because I didn't think that the previews were
They weren't that long. For most of the time when you go to these movies, they go on forever, but this time it was not that long. So, I was also a little confused. So there's this subplot where T'Challa's woman that he's in love with, his ex, wants to have Wakanda help the rest of the world because they're isolationists.
Yeah.
And he says, we can't do that. We've always been isolationists. That's how we've survived all this time. We can't let the world know what we really are. Blah, blah, blah. I was confused by that because one of the major plot points, the reason Civil War, the movie, starts is because Wakandan aid workers are killed in South America. So you don't help anybody. What were they doing there?
Yeah.
I feel like they didn't...
That's also true because in the movie they make it a point to mention repeatedly that they have spies all over the world. If they're not helping anybody, why do they need those spies? And if they're isolationists, why do they need those spies?
I guess that's more of a, we might... I don't know. I can't really explain. I feel like it's a preemptive thing in case somebody ever did figure out. But... And how would they not realize that there's something fishy going on in Wakanda? Because in Civil War, they arrest T'Challa.
Yeah.
They know he's the fucking king of Wakanda.
Yeah.
And just a few minutes before he's arrested, a helicopter shoots him with a .50 caliber minigun, and it doesn't go through his armor.
No, nothing. Not even a scratch.
And these idiots didn't think,
maybe it's not a third world country after all.
Maybe there's something going on there.
Yeah. I don't get it.
I feel like it's a major plot hole. It's a major plot hole.
Not unless literally every single government official working for the United States is an idiot.
That's a possibility.
That is a possibility, but come on now.
You have anything else?
No.
I'm good. All right, so we liked it. We had some problems with it, but no movie is perfect. I enjoyed it. And up next is Infinity War.
Yeah. I'm super excited for it, although I'm kind of disappointed that there wasn't really any build-up for Infinity War in that.
There wasn't even an after-credit... I mean, there was the one after-credit scene with Bucky in it, but that really wasn't anything. It just him getting, I guess, treatment. And
then there was the other one where T'Challa was announcing that, basically them Wakanda coming out.
to help the world. But, so, Infinity War's next. The trailers make it look like a lot of stuff's going to happen in Wakanda.
Yeah.
So, I'm almost wondering if... I guess this is how I'll wrap it up. So we don't know where the last Infinity Stone is yet. And they say that the reason Wakanda became so powerful was the vibranium that landed there, and it spread out into the plant life and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Has vibranium ever as itself done that?
I don't think so.
I'm thinking in the center of that asteroid that hit is the last Infinity Stone.
That would make a lot of sense.
Which I'm pretty sure is the Life Stone or something like that. I'm not sure which one they haven't come across yet.
think it's actually... Yeah, no, I think you're right. I'm pretty sure it's the Life Stone.
Which would make sense why the flowers became so...
Yeah.
I think that's why so much is happening in Wakanda, because that last Infinity Stone is buried in that mountain. And that's why Thanos is going to have to land there physically, because he can't just attack it. It's vibranium. You can't just destroy it.
Yeah.
He's going to have to go into the mine and take it.
Yeah.
So I do think that's what they're hinting at there.
Which would be a damn good build-up.
Yeah. So, all right, we'll move on to our second topic for this week, which is Star Wars Rebels.
Super excited for this.
Starts up on Monday, the 19th of February, and we've got 3-4 weeks left, and we're done.
Yeah.
It's almost leads into it'll probably end about a month before Solo. It should end about a month before Solo.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, I've been a big fan of the Star Wars Rebels series so far.
Yeah, it's childish at times, but there's also some good moments.
Oh yeah, I mean, for being a kids show, they have definitely had some darker moments. I mean, not necessarily to the Clone Wars, but
no, not as bad as Asajj Ventress skewering a clone trooper and then giving him a kiss on the cheek as he dies.
Yeah,
that was pretty brutal. But I mean, the Inquisitor murdered those 2 guys in the first season, cut their heads right off.
Yeah.
It's off screen, but you know what happened.
Yeah. I mean, they're always sneaking little stuff like that into it too. So
who do we think lives? Who do we think dies? We know Hera lives.
Yeah.
And we know Chopper survives.
Yeah.
Who dies?
I'm hoping Ezra does.
Oh my God! I'm hoping Ezra dies. I hate him. Do you know he's the same age as Luke?
No way.
He was born on the first Empire Day, which is the day the Empire was announced, and Luke was born on the same day. So they're the same age.
Huh.
Must be it's just something about being born on Empire Day that makes you a whiny little Jedi bitch.
Has to be.
So we both hope. I think Ezra has to die.
Yeah.
Because at this point he's met Leia, he's met Mon Mothma, he's met General Dodonna, all the higher ups in the rebellion. Why wasn't he at the Battle of Yavin?
Yeah, he's never even mentioned.
Or at the Battle of Scarif.
No.
He's never mentioned. He never shows up. Luke would have gotten, I mean, even though they're the same age, Ezra at that point, if we're still alive, would have had more Jedi training. Luke should have gotten some pointers from him.
Yeah.
He's not there. He has to die.
And
if he doesn't die, how do you explain that?
I don't know.
Doesn't.
And then I honestly think that what's the other
Kanan?
guy? Kanan. I think he's going to die
I think Kanan's going to die on Monday. I think Kanan is going to die when they go rescue Hera. Because remember, at the end of the mid-season break, she was captured by Governor Price.
Yeah.
And they're going to attempt to rescue. I've watched a couple of the trailers leading into it. I'm pretty sure he's going to get there, rescue her, and on the way out, I think he's going to die.
So you think that they're just going to kill him
right
away?
They're going to try and punch us in the gut for the people that actually, mostly the kids that care about these characters.
Yeah.
Because the only character I honestly care about is Thrawn.
Yeah.
The villains are my jam in these. So I think they're going to try and punch him right in the gut immediately and kill off Kanan. Although of all the heroes, Kanan's the best.
I don't know. I like
Sabine.
Yeah, Sabine, the Mandalorian chick.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she dies though.
I don't know. I feel like she's just going to go back to Mandalore and, rule.
That's the one bitch I have about Rebels is they've really twisted. I'm a huge Mandalorian guy. Boba Fett is my favorite Star Wars character. I have a fucking Boba Fett tattoo.
Yeah.
They've really changed the lore around the Mandalorians. It used to be they were this nomadic, warlike tribes that fought. Basically, they fought these wars against the Jedi and the Republic. They were broken apart, and now they're all mercenaries and ever since Clone Wars, they've changed a lot of it. I mean, it's not all bad, but I'm not comfortable with it. It's really strange,
Yeah.
I don't like it that much. And there's even been kind of hints that Boba Fett isn't actually a Mandalorian.
What?
Which would really fucking piss me off if they tried to say he wasn't a Mandalorian.
Yeah, how would they ever do that?
I can't remember where it happens, but I think in one of the cartoons or maybe a book, somebody mentions a Mandalorian bounty hunter, Jango Fett. And another Mandalorian scoffs and says he isn't a real Mandalorian or something, which would, oh my God, I'd be so mad. I'd probably go to Lucasfilm and punch Kathleen Kennedy in the face if they did that. This is for Boba Fett!
Just straight up assault.
Yeah. Hey, I probably have an army of Star Wars fans behind me.
Yeah.
So, I guess I'd have to agree with you. I don't think Sabine's going to die.
No.
She's the easiest one to just kind of hide off in the corner.
Yeah, have her go do her own thing and never return.
So, who else do we got? I guess The only one is the big purple monkey guy. What the hell is his name?
What the hell is his name?
We call him Jabba. I don't know why.
That's obviously
not
Jabba.
What the hell is his name? It's oh, crap! I gotta look this up. This is gonna get edited out, or maybe it won't. Maybe I'll just leave it the fuck in.
Who knows?
Guess the characters. Zeb. Zeb, yeah.
Anticlimactic.
Do we think Zeb dies? I think Zeb dies.
Yeah, he kind of... I feel like he'll be one of the first people to die. Why? Just because.
Because he doesn't offer anything?
No, he's pretty much comedic relief.
Yeah, I think personally Kanan dies first, and then Zeb probably next. Ezra's probably going to die at the very last episode.
Yeah.
Because we know Palpatine's going to show up in the last episode, and I think Palpatine's going to kill him.
I feel like Palpatine is going to try to train Ezra at first.
And when he refuses, Palpatine will do what he was going to do to Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm excited for. I hate Ezra, and I want to watch the Emperor just straight up suck the life right out of him.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. The other character is Captain Rex. We know he survives because they basically said that old guy in Endor...
Yeah, was him.
Yeah. And then Agent Callus. I think he dies.
Yeah, dies.
Which sucks because I really like Callus.
I do too.
Other than his weird new haircut.
Huh? Yeah.
But I like him as a character.
Yeah.
Because he's like the only one that goes through a legitimate character arc. Because he starts out as a villain.
Yeah.
And he slowly, very slowly, and you see how it happened. He's the one they've handled the best.
Mm-hmm.
Because Ezra has had no character arc.
No.
He's still a whiny little bitch. And then they hinted at the dark side thing, and it never happened. He just immediately was like, no, I'm not going to be evil, even though it's making me more powerful.
Yeah, come on now.
I don't think...
Get your shit together,
Kanan
Rebels.
has had like a mini arc, because he went blind, and he lost his faith, and then the Bendu helped him. Hera, I think, has been basically the same since the beginning. And she's probably the least annoying character out of all. I like
But
Sabine.
she's been the same.
I like Sabine, but she has annoying moments, too.
Yeah.
Hera's like the most normal person, even though she's not a human. But she's definitely the one that seems to make the most logical decisions and choices that we as normal people would make.
Right.
Which is probably why she's definitely going to survive to the end of this. Zeb is annoying as hell. I hate Chopper.
Oh my god, I can't stand Chopper.
Asshole.
And the fact that he survives
everything.
Why? How has nobody killed him yet? How has nobody wanted to kill him?
I don't know. Zeb always wants to kill him, but never does.
Damn you, Zeb.
But yeah, Callus, like I was saying, he's had the only real true story character arc throughout this entire thing, where he started one way and has ended another. I feel like he might have like the heroic sacrifice or whatever.
I could see that happening. I definitely
So villains, do we think Thrawn survives?
Yes.
I do too, and I feel like they spoiled this because there's another Thrawn book coming out in March, I believe. It's not very far away.
I think it might be March. I'm not sure.
So basically the synopsis for that new book is that Thrawn is going to work with Vader.
Ooh.
And it's called Thrawn Alliances. And it is coming out... Oh, that's last year's. Let's see. I'm trying to look it up. But anyways, I'll keep talking while I'm looking this up. So he's going to work with Vader on some kind of mission or whatever. And the reason I think it means that he survives is because Star Wars Rebels picks up literally as soon as July 24th. Okay. So not very far away. I'm very excited for this. The cover looks amazing.
Yeah, it
by
does.
the way, Vader and Thrawn. So the Star Wars Rebels literally picks up the day after Thrawn, the book, ends.
Right.
So Star Wars Rebels and Thrawn are right up against each other, and then we have what's happening. So this book is a sequel to the first book.
So hence
he has to survive.
Yeah, it has to.
He has to survive Rebels.
Has to.
Yeah. So we basically confirmed, which I'm so happy. I did not want Thrawn, who's this master villain, one of my favorite Star Wars villains, to die at the hands of the Ghost Crew.
Yeah, I would be amazingly happy if he does survive.
I would be happy if he's the one that kills most of these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Because we both have read the original Thrawn books. He's a genius.
Oh, yeah.
He's a
master tactician.
Yeah.
You can't fool this guy.
No.
He notices everything.
Yeah, so I hope he's the reason. I think Palpatine will kill Ezra, but I hope Thrawn kills off everybody else.
Yeah.
I would probably get fucking goosebumps if that happened. Like, we got to see Thrawn's genius take effect.
Yeah. Also, too, something that they never touched on was, what the hell is Ahsoka? She never...
Yeah, we don't know. I
don't really care. I kind of hated Ahsoka, too.
Yeah, I liked Ahsoka better after she came back in Rebels. I hated Clone Wars Ahsoka so much. I have a bad feeling she's one of the wolves. Reincarnated as a wolf. I really do.
I hope not.
There's the wolves show up in like the last 2 episodes before the season break. Right. And all of them have like one certain color eyes, and then that big one shows up and it has different colored eyes, and it has ridges that go up from its snout up its forehead, and they look like her horns.
Yeah.
I think that's her.
Ugh.
And it's also the one that always says Doom, which is Kanan's
actual last
name. Yeah, so
Caleb Doom.
Doom. It's spelled weird. It's not Doom. It's like Doum, or I don't know. It's spelled really strange, but it's Doom. So, all right. Anything else on that? Or you want to start your ranting and rolling for this week?
I will start my ranting and rolling.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. No Rev is going to rant and roll.
Well, let me take a little bit here to really talk about our declining state of the cinematic theater as we know it. Okay? If I go and spend my perfectly good, hard-earned money that I work my ass off for to go to a movie and watch a specific movie, I want to actually sit there and enjoy it and not have anybody ruin my show.
Yep.
I'm sick and tired of these fucking people coming into the theater either with kids or fucking oxygen tanks or fucking texting and bullshit or just talking in general and answering phones while at the movie theater. They make it a point to tell you, please turn off your phone, please don't do this, please don't be a nuisance. Why the fuck do people continue to show up and just be belligerent assholes?
There's like 4 separate advertisements for being respectful in a movie.
Yes, but constantly, it's been like the last 5 movies that we've gone to.
Black Panther was the only one where we had the lady texting, but she wasn't like
belligerent about it.
She just was texting.
And then there was a kid that kept crying in the background. Okay,
I don't remember that.
Well, he wasn't crying, but he kept talking and yelling stuff, and, it's a kid. That's a little more understandable.
Yeah.
But when you have douchebags fucking playing with the seats throughout the entire movie.
That was because we have recliners in our theater.
Yeah, and they have buttons, and every time you press the button, it makes a little noise. And I don't want to sit there and listen to you playing with the fucking chair.
We were watching a good movie. We were watching Homecoming.
Why?
How are you bored playing with a fucking recliner during Homecoming?
It's impossible. It's Spider-Man. You paid hard-earned money to come to this fucking thing, too, and you're just gonna sit there and play with a fucking chair the whole time?
Yep.
Watch the movie like a civilized adult, or get the fuck out of the movie theater. And then, you have people, okay, I understand, people with disabilities are able to come and watch movies, too. I'm all for it. Good for you. But don't come during opening night!
No.
When I have to sit there, and I'm trying to watch a fucking movie, I forget what it was. Was it a Star Wars movie?
No, it was Logan.
Okay, so when I'm sitting there trying to watch a movie, I don't want to hear fucking Darth Vader breathing in my ear behind me, okay? Because literally, it's a dramatic scene, it's all quiet, not even the music is playing at this point, and all I hear is...
It was during the scene in the car, where Vulture's talking to Spider-Man. Yeah, and there's somebody literally Vader breathing behind us. Listen, we have nothing against people with special needs.
No.
Seriously.
All power to you. Don't come during opening night. We're tripping all over you in your fucking wheelchair. You're disturbing the fucking movie throughout the entire fucking thing because I gotta hear you breathing this whole fucking time. I don't want to hear it. Save it for a week after, or don't come during opening night. I don't give a shit after that point.
Yeah. Remember during Deadpool?
Oh my god, people were laughing at shit that wasn't even funny.
Well, I wasn't even talking about that. There was a little kid there.
Who brings a kid to a rated R movie? It's rated R!
Half the advertisement for the movie was basically telling you not to bring your kids to this movie.
It might be a superhero movie, but it is a superhero movie not supposed to be for kids.
There was some kind of petition out there at the time because they wanted another cut of the film to be PG-13.
It wouldn't work.
And Ryan Reynolds literally went on like a social media rampage about how this is not a movie for little kids. We're not going to change it. It's not going to be...
They made it very public.
Don't bring your kids to this movie. And then I think there was like a 5-year-old in the movie theater.
Yeah, and it's those fucking idiots that they call themselves parents. How the hell do they still possess kids? It makes no fucking sense. Because obviously this movie is rated R. For one, how the hell did nobody say something to you? It'd be like, you know this is a rated R movie, right? I'm not going to tell you how to raise your fucking kid, but you should not be taking your child to a rated R movie.
Full of cock and ball jokes.
Yes, not to mention there was like a gratuitous sex scene that went on for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it did.
It had a montage and everything, man. Why? Don't be a fucking retard.
Don't bring your kids to...
Don't be an idiot. Please, be respectable at the movie theaters. My PSA message is now complete.
Well... That was quite interesting. Every demographic, bad parents, special needs people. We didn't even talk about the stereotypical loud black women that come to some of these movies.
You know, I was actually I really so bad wanted to go into Black Panther and start talking all throughout it.
That was
just as a reverse stereotype. That would have been so great.
Maybe on second viewing.
Yeah, second viewing.
Alright, well, that concludes our Black Panther episode. It got a little weird there at the end.
I'm sorry, folks.
So, please, like, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. You can find our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, wherever podcasts are found. This week, we have this episode coming out on Sunday. We have the Microphone Joe shit show. We have a doozy for you guys this week. We've already watched it. I know we've kind of been a little behind in the last two, but scheduling has been difficult, so we watched this one in advance. So Catwoman. We decided in honor of Black Panther, an African-American superhero character, we would find the worst African-American superhero character.
And it's kind of weird that they were both cat-related, isn't it?
Yeah, it is kind of weird. I didn't realize the parallels till after we got done.
Yeah.
So... That's coming out, so be on the lookout for that. It's a bad movie. It's a bad movie. It was really nice. It's
pretty much universally hated.
It was nice to cleanse our palate the next day with Black Panther. Yeah, it was very nice.
Yeah.
So, with that, I'm CJC.
And I'm No Rev.
And this has been the Microphone Joes. Stay average.